Can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Holy on slow! I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Holy on slow!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Snowman in the Morning.
Oh, yeah.
Doggone it. This is going to be an abbreviated version again because I just realized I got a lot of administrative stuff to do. So this is going to be an hour. We're going to blow right through this because I only have, and I am off to a bad start this morning. But you know what? The day is going to get better. Welcome to the Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. The two subjects I have on the table, we did not honor the king of basketball on his birthday yesterday. That, of course, being Michael Jordan. And, of course, that's a very subjective subject. But, you know something? We're going to get it right. This is the final and last dress rehearsal before episode 1 on Monday. Why am I calling Monday episode 1? As I have my partner, Cole Johnson, with me. Let's see. I have a radio partner in Cole Johnson, a co-host, someone that shares the mic with me every day. I have made the decision to go all in on YouTube, which means it houses the podcast, which means it houses the live show, which means it houses the clips. I love all the audio networks, but given my state of affairs right now with my health and everything's too doggone expensive. So I got to cut costs. I got to cut overhead. And I just want to go all in on one platform. And also welcome to those of you that are listening via the On Tap podcast network. They're doing some reformatting as well. And as I said to a couple of people, and as I said yesterday morning to kick off the show, I'm in the process basically of reclaiming my kingdom. My broadcast kingdom. Now I welcome Cole Johnson to the show. Good morning, sir.
All right, good morning.
I'm on fire today.
Yeah. Sounds like it's a Hope Springs Eternal type of day.
Look, I'm not a Cub fan, okay? My White Sox actually made the playoffs. Hope Springs Eternal for the Chicago Cubs, the Cleveland Browns. I can't say the Cleveland Cavaliers because they're actually doing something. I just, like I said, this is the final dress rehearsal before the true episode 1 on Monday. And even though I've had this show 8 years, it's not in the position, it wasn't in the position to take off the way it is now. So I'm getting everything done I need done today. Tomorrow, me and the wife are going to spend the day together. And then Sunday, after wife and I spend half the day together, she's going to get ready for the week, and I'm going to get ready for the week in front of this computer, getting all things together that I need to get together. And Chris Deitch, you're going to have to forgive me again, because when I fired up this morning, there were some things missing. And rather than be PO'd about it for 2 hours, we're going to shorten this to an hour. We're going to cover 2 subjects, and then we're going to bail out of here. So, Hope Springs Eternal, my ass. Kingdom Eternal, better believe it. I got stuff. We got things to put together, and I kept telling you, and I owe you a significant apology because I told you I was going to send you the link to our replay and have you spread it because you have a better handle on when to put things out than I do, and I don't do it consistently. So I owe you an apology for that. Health situation notwithstanding, accountability is now one of my weapons. So beginning Monday, what I'm going to do is distribute the replay via email to you and let you take. I will distribute it on my end to my circles, but I'm going to let you distribute it on your end to your circles. And I will make sure I get the link to you either via Messenger or via email whatever I have to do, because I'm feeling better. Monday is my first cancer surgeon appointment. I have a CT scan scheduled next week as well. Next Wednesday, no Bron sexual confessions, because for a very good reason. I'll be at the doctor getting everything scanned and
That's
ready.
a good way to. That's a good reason to preempt it.
Yep. I'm due at 9:45, so I'm not even going to try to do an hour. I want to be fully focused and fully ready for this. So next Wednesday will not be on air. And I'll keep you all abreast of the broadcast schedule. Let's get to some fun. Michael Jordan's birthday was yesterday. And I saw some frivolity on social media.
Oh, you saw some too. Okay.
Let's compare notes.
Okay.
One of the things I read said, quote, all this talk y'all have about LeBron, and yet it's Michael Jordan's birthday. Not one person wished him a happy birthday. Close quote. I'll go first. Listen, you idiot. Just because we don't say it in your group that's dedicated to the 500th best player in the world.
Oh, wow.
That doesn't mean we're not wishing MJ happy birthday in our way that ain't involved in your group. I'll stop there. Next. I'm tired of the slander. I'm tired of the slander, not only with the GOAT in basketball, but the GOAT in football, and I'll get to him a little bit later. Take the floor.
Now, I did see a Bron Sexual actually wish Michael Jordan a happy birthday, but it was a
Slap
total
in the face.
cold slap in the face and a backhanded compliment.
Oh, God.
When he said, quote, happy birthday to the third greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan.
Now you piss me off.
Close quote.
Who do you have besides who do you have above him? Did he say?
He didn't say this. Well, of course, it's LeBron number one, but I forgot who he had number two. But
okay.
But I guarantee it wasn't Kareem.
Was it Kobe?
Listen, it probably was, but I can't remember.
Okay.
Listen,
let's take it.
Let's get this understood,
please.
I had a chance to look at a few things that he did again, Jordan, and actually, this will be a good memory for you. The end of Game 7 in the 1998 Eastern Conference Finals between themselves, of course, and the Pacers.
The Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, there was a clip that I saw where a guy said, "This is my favorite, sort of like my favorite memory of Jordan in terms of the fight that he had in that series."
Yep.
And that he just had this dogmatic, indomitable will to show that he wasn't sweating and he wasn't tired.
Mm-hmm.
And everything showed that he was involved in the game. And then when the Bulls got the steep,
involved and then some.
Mm-hmm. And so the clip cuts right into when the Bulls steal the ball. It's like 20 seconds left in Game 7. Bulls steal the ball. They drive to their side of the court. They hold up, of course, to keep away from the Pacers. The Pacers foul.
Mm-hmm.
And then it shows Jordan in his normal when basically things are in hand. He has his hands on his shorts and he's tugging it down.
Yep.
And you can see the exhaustion, but you can also see relief and sort of job well done type of thing on his face at the same time. And that was a great tribute to him, to me, because I actually said that outside of that series, I said, that series to me is probably one of the three best I've seen him play.
Yes.
I said outside of the 1990 Eastern Conference Finals
against the Pistons.
And the reason why I said that is because this guy literally made it 1-on-5.
Yeah, he did
for 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen anybody take on a team like that and come close to actually succeeding. So I was stunned when I saw that. Even back then, and I was 17. Yeah. Even back then when I saw it, I was stunned.
He took him to 7 games.
He almost by himself took him to 7 games.
Nearly won that series, but the Pistons locked him down in Game 7.
Mm-hmm. In Game 7. And to understand the totality of why I say this, this is the defending world champions
on their floor.
Yeah, and this is the 2-time defending Eastern Conference champions that has booted them out 2 years prior. And this is on their home floor in Game 7.
Yeah.
And the only reason why that basically Jordan couldn't overcome it was because, like I said, 1-on-5.
Yeah.
He was the best player. No question he was the best player on the floor. But the Pistons were the better team. And they showed it in Game 7.
They did.
That's why I say that's, to me, one of my favorite series that I've seen Jordan play. The other is 1992's Eastern Conference semifinals against the Knicks, when I saw a team similarly built to the Pistons, but they were younger, they were hungrier at the time, and they were built differently in terms of the offense basically was filtered through Ewing for the Knicks, whereas the offense was generated through Isaiah for the Pistons. And what I saw and what I loved that series was it was cool to see two Bulls clashing, pardon the pun, and it was also cool to see Jordan do his thing, because every time you thought, well, looks like the Knicks have the Bulls in the corner, Jordan will respond with a ridiculous game. It was also cool to see the others step up. Horace Grant every now and then, and Scottie Pippen every now and then, and even John Paxson and B. John Strong every now and then. It was good to see a good mixture, and that was the difference between the 1992 Eastern Conference semifinals against a team that was similarly constructed to the Pistons and the Knicks, and 2 years earlier. And Jordan also was more willing to be a share the wealth type of guy at around that time.
Yes.
And I think he finally learned, okay, I know I can take over a game, but in order for me to take over the game the proper way, I need to have help from everybody else. And so to me, those 3 series are the best series I've ever seen Jordan play. 1990 East Conference Finals, 1988 East Conference Finals, and 1992's East Conference Semifinals between themselves and the Knicks. I say all of that to say that was what I actually got a chance to see yesterday. And to see somebody not give Jordan the proper due is utterly insulting. And to give the person who does not deserve the proper due its respects is absolutely funny. It's almost
it's sad. It wouldn't be fun. What did Mike Valenti say? It would be funny if it wasn't so sad.
Yeah.
To see this.
I mean, literally, seriously, Bronxosexuals, it literally is, to me, and I think I might get my partner upset and angry at the same time. I mean, upset and humored at the same time.
Go for it.
It's like seeing either a stand-up of Richard Pryor or George Carlin every single day when I see these sports newsrooms talk about these sports groups in Facebook just keep endlessly talking about LeBron and just simply giving him fellatio every single waking second. And I'm thinking, the heck?
It's stupid.
Right. But we don't need to plaster. We don't need to plaster rooms and say the greatest ever. Happy birthday, Jordan, number 59. We don't need to do that. I mean, basically, the career speaks for itself. So why should we even?
We don't have to. I mean, like you said, the career speaks for itself. The impact speaks for itself.
Because it still is affected even to this day. I mean, his impact is still felt today. And he hasn't been on the court in 20 years. The impact is still felt today.
It is. It is. I mean, I could pull up a Michael Jordan video or an old game and still be in the moment.
Oh, good. It's not just me. Okay.
I'll still be in the moment. I mean, I'm going to turn 50 this summer, and I can go back to February 16th, 1989, where he rescued the Bulls and scored 27 points in the final 12 minutes to erase a 12-point deficit against the Milwaukee Bucks and turn a 12-point deficit into a 117-116 win.
I'm angry I missed watching that game. Because I was on WGN at the time. I was angry I missed that game.
And the legendary Jim Durham and Johnny Kerr were shared a mic. I can go back to May 7th, 1989 with Jim and Johnny and the CBS feed. The shot.
Dick Stockton did, yes. Yeah. Dick Stockton did a good job on that call, too.
Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown did the television call, but the legendary call was by Jim Durham. I mean, I love you, Dick Stockton. Dick Stockton got me into the NBA on CBS.
Same.
Okay, Brent Musburger and Dick Stockton got me into the NBA on CBS because Brent was calling games up until 1989 on CBS. But there's something about that call with Jim and Johnny.
Well, we talked about it, what was it, yesterday or the day before? We talked about it. There's just a certain... There's a certain type of feel you get when it is the guy of the home team or the team that's being covered.
Yeah.
That calls action because it's different than the national broadcaster because but I love the perspectives each way.
Yes.
Because it's a different perspective.
And see, Dick Stockton is a legend in his own right.
Smooth.
Dick Stockton is a legend in his own right. For those of you who really know Dick Stockton, you know him from his NBC days when he called Carlton Fisk's walk-off 12th inning home run against Cincinnati.
That dude, smooth behind the mic.
Very smooth.
Smooth.
I mean, Bill Russell had fun working with him. We all know his partnership with Tom Heinsohn. And then for a couple of years, it was Billy Cunningham.
Right.
And then he ended with Hubie Brown. All four.
And yeah, Dick made all four of them look good too.
Mm-hmm.
And all four were great in their own right.
Yeah.
But Dick really made all four of them look really good.
I remember, and Bill Russell shared time with the great Rick Barry on early in the TNT days. In the early TNT days, we're talking 84, 85, 86, before TNT went national.
Right.
You know, and became a station to watch.
Right.
You know. So happy belated birthday in this case, because I missed it yesterday. So happy belated birthday to the greatest of all time in Michael Jordan. And for those and for you bronzexuals, suck it. Oh, I'm sorry, you already do.
Oh, good one.
Now to the All-Star game or All-Star weekend. I messed that up. And if you hear clicking, that's me turning the recorder on and off because I'm getting the highlights done at the same time.
Speaking of sucking.
Oh. The All-Star game is this weekend, and I'm not watching a blank minute of it.
Where do I even begin with this?
You go first.
Okay.
Because take the floor, please. And I already got the picture in mind that I'm going to create for this.
No joke. I actually woke up this morning thinking about this, and I was thinking about this in the way of what is missing in today's All-Star game, as juxtaposed to even when we were both young adults. I'm not even talking about when we were in grammar school or intermediate or teenagers, because the game definitely is not the weekend itself definitely doesn't resemble how it looked in the 80s. Not even close.
Defense?
Well, that's definitely it. That's one of the highlights. And I came to that.
Introducing the players in goal.
Oh, you mean just regular? Basically, you have maybe a minute and a half, 2 at the most, that you introduce players from each team, and you go instead of having WWE entrance music played for each guy,
and spotlights
and not to the starters.
Spotlights and slapping the fans' hands and everything. And then Sick Diggy with the comment: Bronzexuals are basically a walking example of George Carlin's bit about this whole thing being a big stroke job. Damn right about that. Damn right about that. And y'all know I love George Carlin. 3/4 of his bits I cannot repeat on here, but
yeah, I was about to say that's the thing.
I hope WWE doesn't sue y'all for using the DX catchphrase. You know what? Yeah, well, in today's society, he has a point.
Yeah.
So, like I said, like my partner said, speaking of things sucking, back to the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And the All-Star weekend within. The dunk contest blows. The three-point contest features no one that can shoot the three consistently, i.e. the Splash Brothers, i.e. Damian Lillard. I don't even know who the contestants are this year. The Celebrity All-Star game, which is going to take place in a different arena in Cleveland, guarantee you that, because they don't want to ruin the floor at the main arena. Go back to Chicago 2020. Celebrity All-Star game was at Wintrust Arena. All-Star game was at the United Center. And Anthony Davis, you should have followed your instinct after that. I'm sorry. Whatever happened to the? You know what they You know what they obliterated and got rid of?
What, decency in the whole weekend?
Well, not only that.
Okay, what in particular did they get rid of?
The All-Timers game. The Old-Timers game.
You know something? I was thinking about that. I was wondering, why did they get rid of that game?
You play two halves with a running clock. As these guys are up there in age. I understand. You play two halves with a running clock, but you get to see the legends that you grew up watching, like, I don't know, George Gervin. Like, I don't know, the late, great Moses Malone. Hell, Moses Malone was running over people until 1989.
Yeah, that dude was a beast.
Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Skyhook.
And I think that it goes into what we always talk about when it's this LeBron versus everybody talk, when it's everything is great with LeBron and middle finger to everybody else when it comes to today's NBA fan and definitely Bronzexuals.
That's the truth.
Well, no, I shouldn't say middle finger up. I should say eyes up to LeBron.
No.
But that's
Leave
That's
it. You said it right.
But
no, we're not holding back on. For those of you tuning in for the first time, we're no longer holding back on this program. Okay.
That is the telltale sign of how the past isn't being appreciated. Because when we were growing up, we saw the Old Timers game. You know, we got a chance to, sit around with our fathers. We got a chance, and grandfathers at times.
Yep.
We got a chance to ask, who's Will Chamberlain, Dad?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Bill Russell, grandfather? Who's Bob Nevitt, man?
Who's Dolph Shays?
Who's Dolph Shays?
Who's Bob Pettit?
Right. And then the list goes on and on. I mean, Dave Cowens, Paul Westphal.
Dave Cowens. Oh my Lord, yes. Paul Westphal.
We got a chance to ask
Dick Van Arsdale.
Right.
Okay.
And so we got a chance to ask those questions and learn about the past, and it made us appreciate the game more because we actually could see from our fathers and grandfathers' eyes. Oh, okay. So
we get to see how the game was built.
Right. So you mean to tell me that when I'm seeing Jordan do what he does, a direct descendant of him would be Elgin Baylor? Mm-hmm. Really? Mm-hmm. And then he passed that on to Julius Erving, and there's a part of those two in Jordan's game. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Yep. That makes a little more sense. It makes me appreciate them more because this great player saw something great in them. So I don't get why that's not the case now.
Because it can't be money. You had a chance in 2020 with the game being in my hometown of Chicago to really pay homage to these legends, and I said the correct word, legends, and they fell flat on their ass.
I mean, with me, you grew up in Chicago, so Jordan was your guy. I grew up in Houston, so Olajuwon was mine.
Mm-hmm.
I got a chance to understand why Olajuwon was so great because he got a chance to study. Well, early in his career, he went against Kareem, so I understood that. And then I got a chance to see, Bill Russell was a guy who just swatted everything in his sight. I remember my father was telling me, he said, "Man, the greatest shot block I've ever seen is Bill Russell." And I said, "Why, Dad?" He said, "Man, that guy did not just swat balls into the stands. He actually would block shots, but he would block it. Yeah, he would purposely keep it in play to start fast breaks." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah."
Shoot,
so I was like, "That's why he's dynamic." Okay,
that's how Magic Johnson got so many assists. Abdul-Jabbar keeping the ball in play on a block shot. Magic winds up with it, and he's 100 miles an hour the other way.
And that's why I appreciated Kareem on the other end more because of that.
Sig Diggy says All-Star games are meant to showcase the best of the best. Being selected to the All-Star is an acknowledgement of the player's excellence. Yeah, it's true.
That's what it's supposed to be.
It's what it's what it's supposed to be. It's what it's supposed to be, and it's not. Oh my God. It's not. When it was, I'm gonna go here. When it was East versus West.
Let this pick up.
Let me start again. When it was East versus West.
And not this pickup game crap we see now.
Mm-hmm. You had a competition. I go back to a game that my partner
conference pride.
You had conference pride, absolutely. And a suggestion that a friend of mine gave, why doesn't the NBA do what Major League Baseball did? Whichever conference wins, you get home court advantage in the finals.
No. No. I wouldn't want that.
Because
I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that because it to me, and I saw this in baseball, it would do the same in basketball. It would devalue the regular season in terms of, if you have the best record, you earn the right to host.
You earn the right to host, right? You know
every series.
And you're right. You're right. I didn't even think about that. So
yeah.
See, my partner and I can disagree on something, but then come to an agreement on it. And these are two black men doing this, and that's a direct shot at society.
Yeah. And we're not.
Cool McKay said that to me yesterday when he has subscribed to your channel, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Part 1. Part 2, he said he looked at me and then he saw you. He said, "What? This is another black man working with him, and they're having this much fun? Oh, hell yeah!"
And the beautiful part is we're just being ourselves.
I'm taking a shot at that every chance I get. Hell, my wife took a shot at it and said, "What? You guys are working together?" "No." And we laughed our asses off. But see, before I put a pin in that for the day, let's go back to February 1982. Brendan Byrne Arena, East Rutherford, New Jersey.
My first ever All-Star game that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The East won the game 120-118.
Mm-hmm.
You know why the East won that game 120-118? Because Larry Bird made something you will never see in today's All-Star game. A defensive stop.
Oh, I thought Larry Bird was a horrible defender.
I'll repeat my sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You know why the East won that game in 1982, 120-118, with the legendary Dick Stockton on the call? Because Larry Bird did something for the Eastern Conference you will never see in today's All-Star game. A defensive stop.
And I'll repeat again for those idiots out there.
Please do.
And I thought Larry Bird was a horrible defender. That's what I keep hearing all the time. Bird, you could cook him defensively. Okay.
No. Bird will pick your pocket before you try to cook him.
Right. Ask Isaiah Thomas.
Ask Michael Jordan. Before Michael became this defensive dynamo, he had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Before James Worthy became this defensive dynamo, he had to learn. Okay?
Yeah, Larry Bird was a learning tree for everybody.
Wasn't he? Wasn't he? Diggy says, plus y'all own up to when you're wrong and acknowledge the other being right. It's about coming to the truth. Bingo!
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah, I don't profess to know everything, and I don't profess to. I don't profess to agree with everything that my partner says, and vice versa. But in that, there's a lot of common ground because I think we rarely disagree on things, and the things that we do, it's not like okay, the world's over, we have to end our friendship.
Hell no.
It's not even.
When
threatened.
I did an episode, when I had this man for an episode of Snowman Unfiltered. And I started talking about my wife. You know, Cole had me laughing for 10 minutes when he made the stereotypical joke of, oh, you're married to a white woman. I can't be friends with you anymore. I'm outside on the porch laughing. And remember, my wife came outside and said, why are you laughing so loud? And I asked her to repeat what you said, and she starts laughing. That's one of the most common jokes that my wife and I make. And we made it for almost 4 years. Diggy says, ask Magic. Yes!
And ask Magic. Yeah.
Magic, Bird was the defensive stalwart, okay? Bird and Magic and Gervin and Irving and MJ play defense.
You had to in that era.
Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars play defense.
You had to play defense in that era because
it was what you said. It's about conference pride.
Yeah, you had to play defense in that era because these basketball players offensively were elite studs. And I'm not even talking about the elite players.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about people that you basically would just simply shoo away, sixth men. Or role players. Mm-hmm. They were elite offensive players. So you had to come with it defensively. Otherwise, you're a liability on the floor. And it was easily seen.
Mm-hmm. And if you get picked on more than a couple possessions, if you're playing under Chuck Daly, Phil Jackson, I don't know, Bill Fitch, Casey Jones, Billy Cunningham, Pat Riley.
Yep.
You're off the floor.
Abuse it. Yeah, they will abuse it to the point where you have to get off
the floor.
Yep.
They will abuse you. If you can't figure things out from possession to possession defensively, LeBron, then you're off the floor. I'm looking up something here real quick. Mm-hmm. And I want y'all to listen to some of the, and I know these young cats are going to throw their nose up at what I'm about to list here. But we're going to go back to East Rutherford, New Jersey, Brendan Byrne Arena. And I'm looking up the lineup. And oh, by the way, 82 All-Star game, Larry Bird was the most valuable player.
As he should have been.
Yeah. Larry Bird won the game. 120 to 118 was that final score. The starters for the East. Listen to this lineup. Julius Erving, Larry Bird, Nate, Tiny, Archibald.
What a legendary point guard.
Oh, speaking of legend, here was one in the making. Isaiah Thomas.
Another legendary point guard.
And in the middle, Artis Gilmore.
One of the guys of the maybe three.
Underrated.
Oh, he's totally underrated. One of the three guys who, and you got a chance to see him play because he played for the Bulls.
He played for the Bulls, yes. Yes.
He's one of the guys, and I think it's only three that I can think of off the top of my head, who actually blocked Kareem's skyhook.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 83, Gilmore and Kareem went to war for 6 games.
Yeah.
The reserves. Here's some familiar names. Sidney Moncrief, Buck Williams, who was with the Nets.
Yeah, 2 good defensive players.
Robert Parrish.
Another good defensive player.
Michael Ray Richardson.
Oh, man, I've heard that name in the years.
Kelly Tripucka.
Man, did he get...
Speaking of defensive stalwarts, the next name, I'm going to make my partner smile with his eyes closed. Bobby Jones.
Oh. A power forward that actually could do everything defensively.
And the last
oh my
name,
gosh.
Here's someone that's underrated. Bob Lanier.
That guy was tough. Oh my gosh. That guy was tough. You came at him wrong, he would knock you out. That guy was tough.
Mm-hmm.
I miss players like him. I miss that. I want more players like him in the NBA.
Here are the Western Conference All-Stars. Your starters. George Gervin. Gus Williams. You know who's the anchor. I don't have to say his name.
Yeah, that's Kareem.
Lonnie Shelton. Remember him?
I do remember him.
And
it's been a while since I heard that name.
A fellow by the name of Adrian Dantley. Magic didn't even start this All-Star game.
He didn't start. Oh, that's right. I forgot.
He didn't even start this All-Star game.
I know he was in the game, but I forgot he didn't start. That's right. Adrian Dantley. Okay, let's pause for a minute with this one.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was instant offense. I got a chance because I was a Rockets fan. I got a chance to see him when he was a Jazz.
Adrian used to kill you guys.
Yes. Every time we, especially when we went to Utah, every time we went to the Salt Palace, if that dude
Adrian used to kill you guys.
If that dude dropped 30, he had a bad game against us.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how prominent he was.
What happened to those kind of games? Quickly, the reserves: Magic Johnson, Jack Sikma, Moses Malone, Norm Nixon, DJ Dennis Johnson, Bernard King, who was a Warrior at the time, and Alex English.
Man, all of them ballers, man. All of them are ballers.
Sick Diggy says, back in the day, you had to be a complete player to be in the league. Damn straight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Damn
yes,
straight.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, you did.
No debating that. You damn straight you did. Let's go to the 83 All-Star game, okay? And I'll close with these rosters and this point. Beg your pardon. The last great All-Star game I saw was 2003 in Atlanta, because it should have been Michael Jordan's walk-off and send-off. But before that, 2001 in the nation's capital. And two of my personal favorites back-to-back. 1988 in Chicago and 1989 in Houston. As CBS billed it, the greatest game above earth. Here are the 83 All-Stars. Eastern Conference starters: Thomas, Isaiah Thomas, Bird, Larry Bird, Julius Erving, Moses Malone, and Maurice Cheeks.
Man.
The reserves: Sidney Moncrief, Marcus Johnson, both from Milwaukee, Buck Williams from the Nets, Robert Parrish from the Celtics, Reggie Theus from the Bulls, Bill Laimbeer from the Pistons, and a fellow we call the Boston Strangler, Andrew Toney.
Oh man, and he broke some. Ooh, he broke some hearts. He broke some hearts in Boston the year before.
Yeah, he sure did.
Man.
Let's go to the Western Conference All-Stars. Now, this was in the Forum. So the stars were out. The Forum Club was filled to the brim. They went nuts when Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was introduced by one Lawrence Tanter, the current PA announcer for the Lakers. How do I know this? Lawrence Tanter is from my hometown, and he was a radio DJ. And I noticed the difference in voice when Lawrence Tanter took over in the 82-83 season at the Forum. That's a discussion for Broadcast Week, which I'll talk about before we get out of here. Maurice Lucas from Phoenix, Alex English from Denver, David Thompson from the Seattle Supersonics. That's a discussion for next week. I won't even go there. Your reserves: Jim Paxson from Portland, Sigma from Seattle, Gilmore from the Spurs, Jamal Wilkes.
Silk.
I'll say that name again. Jamal Wilkes.
One of the smoothest deliveries of a shot I've ever seen.
God, every time he lined up one. The rest of reserves: Gus Williams from Seattle, one of the original Motors as a point guard, George Gervin from the Spurs, and Kiki Vandeweghe from Denver. Biggie with a comment: ask big men like David Robinson, Akeem Olajuwon, Abdul-Jabbar, Ben Wallace, the Chief, Robert Parrish, even Dennis Rodman. You had to be a complete player. If you don't play defense, they're sending your shot the other way, which will cost you 2 points and cost you a spot on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
Yep.
But I want to spend a little more time on one of the greatest forwards I ever had a chance to watch play, Adrian Dantley. You know how we made the comparison, Brady is to Montana like LeBron is to Jordan? I'll add a third. Adrian Dantley is to Charles Barkley.
I don't think I've ever seen two players where the game seemed to look easy for them when they were on the court.
Mm-hmm.
As the two names you just mentioned.
Adrian Dantley and Charles Barkley.
It was just a little different how they executed their style, but it seemed like the game came easy to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and with Dantley, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I got a chance, and this is before he was a Piston. I can't tell you how many times I saw this guy just take over games,
and you would be so mad.
Yeah,
you being a Rockets fan, the Rockets were trying to come up at the time, but every time you faced Adrian Dantley, you're like, damn it.
and he would destroy you mid-range. I mean,
his mid-range game, unlike LeBron's mid-range game, Adrian Dantley's mid-range game was
oh my God.
I believe I can use this word. Precision.
Yes.
James Worthy mid-range game. Precision. Mm-hmm. He would slice you to Adrian Dantley, James Worthy, Barkley, MJ, Jack Sikma, Tom Chambers.
I still have nightmares. Still. Now I'm talking 40 years later, I still have nightmares about Jack Sikma's turnaround face-up jumper.
One pivot move and it's in the air.
The ball never moved.
Nope. It was a knuckleball through the basket.
He caught it, he pivot, and he'd get in shooting motion. I'm like, how the heck you do that and not gather up a shooting motion? I always thought that was remarkable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you know how he extended his career with Milwaukee?
He extended the shot.
He extended his shot. He extended his shot.
Ended up being a pretty good three-point shooter. Yep.
And he wasn't supposed to be a three-point. And he lasted as long. Why is he not in the Hall of Fame? That's a discussion for later.
Now that's a crime.
That's a discussion for later. Now, let's wrap things up on this abbreviated edition because, like I said, I got a lot of work to do before Monday. LeBron is to MJ. Brady is to Montana. Dantley is to Barkley. Now, we'll take Dantley and Barkley out of the equation. We'll take Brady and Montana out of the equation.
Okay.
Even though this is a Football Friday. LeBron is to MJ. Now, this could easily go for the remainder of time that we're supposed to have available, but I'm going to try to keep this to within 14 minutes. Try being the operative word.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people keep comparing LeBron to MJ? If you want to make a proper comparison, you compare LeBron to Magic Johnson. Yeah. Okay, but no one wants to do that. No one wants to do that. Oh, LeBron's a great point guard. Prove it. LeBron's a great center. Prove it.
That's
LeBron
sickening.
can guard 1 through 5. Prove it.
No,
Meanwhile,
lie.
Michael actually did guard 1 through 5 when called upon to do so. How many switches have we seen Michael Jordan make on centers? Parrish, Ewing, Barkley when he played center. How many times have we seen Michael Jordan filter down into the post to guard somebody and then quickly get back outside? And there's a great question in the comments. Is there any emphasis on teamwork these days? Sick Diggy, I'll answer your question. Hell no.
You
unless
have
you're
to
Golden
strain to see
State.
it. Insane.
Unless you're Golden State, unless you're Phoenix, unless you're Memphis.
Maybe, I would say maybe Memphis and Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're Golden State and Phoenix, the answer to your question is no. Because, go ahead.
I will say that I think there is a movement to get back to that because seemingly the teams that we did not think that would figure into being a contender seem to have that in common. The Suns are one.
Can I name one?
Please.
One? The Chicago Bulls.
Right.
The Chicago Bulls.
Mm-hmm. People wrote off the Suns because there's no, quote, established superstar, close quote, on the team, but they just keep winning games because they just keep playing together as a unit. The Warriors, we don't have to talk about them.
We don't even have to say anything about them. You know, they lost a great game to Denver, 117-116, and everybody's throwing up the hatred. Oh, what's wrong with the Warriors? Not a dang gone thing.
What's wrong with the Warriors? They played a good team.
They played exactly.
Okay, they played a good team, and they made one more shot.
Yep,
that's the only thing.
That's all. and the Warriors are working on getting healthy. Okay,
right.
So to those of you that are spreading hatred on the Warriors, especially toward me, okay, I shouldn't have done that in front of the camera. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. I truly apologize for that. But look, I will start it again. LeBron is to MJ. No, he's not. He's not.
He's never been.
He's never been.
And I think that's what we have to establish. Mm-hmm. LeBron James has never been anything approaching Michael Jordan. They are two separate players. I'm not even talking about who's better. Right. I'm just talking about styles of play. Mm-hmm. They have been different ever since I laid eyes on him 20 years ago. I'm saying to myself, all right, he seems to be a good talent. I see a lot, and I remember saying this. I said I see a lot of magic in him, and this is before people were saying, "Was this going to be the new 23? Is he going to be the next Michael Jordan?" I'm like, "What are you all seeing?" I'm like, there isn't anything about this guy's game that makes me even think of Michael Jordan. Not even close.
Not a thing. And
I said we already have a guy playing in the NBA at that time currently who resembles Michael Jordan. That's Kobe Bryant.
And that's Kobe. Who was in the process of leading the Lakers to one of the greatest conference finals wins when LeBron was in the process of being shoved down our throats. Yep. Of course, that year was 2002. Okay? LeBron has never been to MJ. Ever. No. Ever. And this is beyond who I like better. This is beyond comparing their games, which you can't. Okay,
you can't. It's two different games.
Two totally different games. Michael was a shooting guard. LeBron is a small forward, if you want to call him that.
It's a small forward who wanted to play point forward.
Hell, now you can make the comparison of him to Scotty if you want to talk about point forwards. But did I climb in your head?
Yes, you did.
Did I climb in your head?
Yes, because I was going to say a more apt comparison would be him to Scotty, and even then I think that's a loose comparison.
It's very loose because Scotty is miles ahead. Scotty's miles ahead of LeBron at the point forward position. Okay.
Scotty, to me, Scotty
created
was
the point forward.
Yeah. To me, Scotty was better in decision making when he had the ball, and of course, Scotty.
Say that again. Say that again.
Yeah. When it came to decision making at the point forward position, Scotty was better.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we don't even have to talk about the defensive end. To me, and I've said this to you privately and publicly. Scottie Pippen, especially the last 3 Bulls championships, he was the leader on defense. And people could say, well, you have Jordan, who was a great defender. Yeah,
Jordan was a great defender, but Scottie took that role in the last 3 championships.
Yeah, Pippen was the guy that led the team defensively, and even Jordan acquiesced to Pippen defensively. Of course, the other end, that was Jordan.
Pippen acquiesced to Jordan offensively, and then Scottie told MJ defensively, "I got this.
I got this." Why do you think Phil Jackson, in the beginning of their run, would put Pippen on the best player the opposing offense had?
And 1991 proved all that against Magic Johnson.
And people want to clown.
And that was an adjustment
in that series.
Wait a minute. Adjustment. That was an adjustment because Magic cooked MJ in Game 1. And that's because of height difference only. Magic would back him down in the post. So Phil said, okay, let me try something here, and switch Pippen on to Magic and drove Magic Johnson crazy.
And people wanted to cook. Remember, people wanted to cook Jordan for that. And said, well, he can't guard Magic. I thought this was a good defensive player. He was defensive player of the year 3 years back. What's the problem? And you hit the nail on the head.
It was an adjustment.
Magic was supposed to do mouse in the house things to Jordan. He was supposed to
6'9" versus 6'6".
So basically, it was a great player on defense, basically getting outplayed by one of the most elite offensive players in the history of the game, and basically doing so the right way. Okay, I got a 3-inch advantage. I should take advantage of this. You hear what I'm saying, Ben Simmons? So I mean,
up the floor, and look at how he went up the floor.
Yeah.
By the way, we will never see Ben Simmons play a game this year. Okay, I just want to put that out there.
That soap opera still ongoing.
I'll answer that question. We'll close with that. We'll close with this, and people are not going to like for what I'm about to say or what I just said. But we're never going to see Ben Simmons play a game this year. Why? He may look like he's happy with the Brooklyn mess.
He's just happy he's not in Philly.
But Ben Simmons is not happy. I'm sorry. Did I say something that hurt Ben Simmons fans?
You probably did.
I don't care. I don't care.
If it's the truth, why should we care?
And then I want to give you the floor on something. Read something that we all knew, those of us who are astute basketball minds, then that we all knew, and a comment about Hall of Famer Dennis Rodman, who I love seeing play. He was more than just the rebounder and disrupting the other team's offensive flow. He sure did.
He was a tone setter.
Just as Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, Rob was the tone setter. There's not even question.
All right. Back to ballless Ben Simmons. We're never going to see him play a game, a minute, a possession this season. Even though he's been traded, even though he's with the team that is actually willing to pay him. I don't know why. I saw something and I immediately sent it to my partner that said Ben Simmons' quote was, quote, "It was never about mental illness." Gotcha. And for that comment alone, for Ben Simmons opening his mouth and putting his foot in it, I enact Mr. Michael K. I'd release his ass today.
Oh, Lord.
I would tell Ben Simmons, F you, get out of here.
No, don't even deal him. Just get
Nope,
rid of him.
just cut him. Like, oh, we're taking on your problems, and you saying you don't have any? Get the hell out of here.
Oh my, that's hilarious.
I'd release his ass today. But the folks with the Nets don't have the balls to do so. I'm going to find that article because we're going to discuss this really quick. If you find it before me, please read that sentence aloud. But
right.
Ben Simmons openly admitted
Dummy.
that it was not about mental illness. You fool.
I knew it. I knew it
We
the whole
all
time.
did. We
I'm
both
like,
did. We both did.
I'm like, man.
We both knew. I mean, what? Here it is. Nope. That's wrong. There's the Blockbuster deal. Here's a picture my partner sent me of someone saying, I still believe in Russ. But Ben Simmons saying,
Oh, yeah.
you got it?
Mm-hmm.
Please read part of that aloud for the class.
All right. This came out of his mouth. Quote, for me, the trade wasn't, that was never, the mental health has nothing to do with it. It was just a trade. It was a bunch of things that I was dealing with as a person in my personal life that I don't really want to go into depth with, but I'm here now. It's a blessing to be in an organization like this. I'm looking forward to getting back on the floor, building something great from here. Close quote.
Now then, please
The
translate
trade
that.
had nothing to do with mental health. That's all I need to see right there.
Mm-hmm. That was the only line I read. The trade had nothing to do with mental health. And he never explained it. He never Ben Simmons, you fool. James Harden, you fool. If I were Philadelphia, of course we got Daryl Morey, so I know this won't happen. If I were Philadelphia and Brooklyn, I'd laugh in Adam Silver's face and tell both organizations I'd release both of their asses today. You know I love Michael Kay. Not just as the voice of the New York Yankees on Yes, but because of the Michael Kay show, which is a very guilty pleasure of mine. A very guilty pleasure. I was supposed to have Rod Peterson on today, but he is busy. But we're talking Ben Simmons here to close out the abbreviated festivities here. The trade had nothing to do with mental illness. Oh, really? And then on top of that, we see him on the bench.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the bench when he was in the against when the Nets were going against the Knicks. Yeah,
on the bench in a jacket with chains around his neck, when he should have glasses, a cup with some pens in it.
I got some cheeseburgers, man. No, that's bronzexuals. I'm sorry. My bad.
It just keep calling me, man. It just keep calling me. I'm sorry.
I suck. No, that's bronzexuals. I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have so much fun putting up these clips, man. I might not even. You know what? Like I said, this is administration day for me, so I'm doing a lot more wiping out than putting together. But I'm getting ready for episode 1. Episode 1 truly is Monday. So I think we'll leave it here, and we'll really go into depth into that on Monday because we're running out of time.
Yeah, I was shutting my mouth because I was about to run.
Save it for Monday.
I am.
Save it for Monday, and that'll kick off the show. Okay. Write this down in your notes, and then send me your notes.
All right. So
that
going
will
in
kick
on
off
Simmons.
That we go in on Simmons on Monday.
Okay.
And Diggy, if you can join us Monday morning, you better catch the top of the first hour. So we'll go in on Simmons on Monday. We're going on the All-Star game on Monday. I know there's a couple more notes I'm going to write down here, and I'm late in getting out of here. I'm getting the signal from my EP, and there's a very pretty pup that's looking at me going, Daddy! As most of you know, I work from home while we're in the process of rebuilding our king and queendom. Wife and I, while I'm in the process of planning my studio and getting everything together. I'm also going to try and experiment on Monday as well. I think I have the materials to pull it off here. And I'm also going to work on getting some better editing materials because I've tried several hundred times to use OpenShot and it hasn't worked. I leave you with this. I keep saying I'm gonna get out. Keep saying I'm gonna get out of here. I just got the text from the EP. Kendra Perkins, how can I say this succinctly? You tripping?
Oh no.
I'll leave that for Monday.
Oh,
The picture you sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave all. Write this down in the notes. Write this down in the notes.
We're going in on KP Monday too. Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Put it in the notes.
Okay.
Put it in the notes.
All right.
Ben Simmons, KP, you about to get it. All-Star game, you're going to get some more. And then we'll mix in quite a few things. We'll get our guest list ready. Monday is the true episode 1 of Snowman in the Morning. The current output I'm using right now, I'm going to blow it up too. I'm going to blow it up. And Cole, when we sign off here, I'm going to send you a couple things. And
right.
we're going to do some experimenting. I know I promised this last Friday, but my body didn't cooperate with me. Now the sun is out. Do you believe that? All right, we're 180 seconds over. Let's get out of here. Cole, thank you, brother. I love you. I love all the guests that came on this